Hello, my name is Ashley and I'm the creator of Elevated Empress. This is my first video because I was inspired or intuitively guided to make this channel. Currently I'm in one of the lowest places of my life. I put things and other people in front of myself, in front of my spirituality. I lost myself for a little bit and I'm still trying to find myself. But within that process, I feel like I should document it because I know I can't be the only person going through this. I can't be the only person feeling these feelings and going through these notions. Notions of self-worth, of self-value, of love, how to receive and how to give, boundaries, like just all of these things I thought I had under control, and entering certain situations showed me that I'm not as equipped as I thought I was. But going through what I have went through, and I'm sure you can feel that too, just apply it to your situation. Just whatever you've gone through, it taught you something. It's a lesson in that you don't have all the answers, that there's something greater than you. A lesson in surrendering only to control the things that you can control, which is yourself and what you got going on around you. You cannot control other people. You cannot control circumstances, you know? One of the biggest forms of surrendering and remembering that you are just so tiny, even though you're made up of the universe, you're just so tiny within the vast space, is lightning, thunder, waves, tsunamis, tornadoes, earthquakes. Something out there is bigger than you, that no matter how hard you prepare, no matter how equipped you think you are, something can come easily and shake that foundation, have you questioning, have you surrendering without even realizing that you're surrendering. So the two things that I wanted to talk about in this video, because I was wondering, what am I going to talk about? What do I have to say? The two things that I'm going to mention are the two things that I feel like are heavy on my mind and on my heart and on my spirit right now. And that is energy of surrendering. And sometimes things not working out and you not getting what you wanted, or you're not collecting for the things that you've put in, like the energy that you've put in. Sometimes you don't get paid for the energy that you've expended. And to me, that's another form of control. You can't control other people's actions. You can't control the universe on how your payout is going to happen. It just happens, you know? Just the energy of surrendering, the energy of while you're surrendering, messages come through, ancestor speaks to you, and just your focus got to be right too. So I would like to start off with a prayer, and then we can pull some cards to further this. So, honorable ancestors, my protectors, my guides, my spirit guides who walk with me daily, known and unknown, seen and unseen, blood of my blood and flesh of my flesh, I thank you guys for giving me and my family and friends another day where we can rise up out of our beds, hearts beating, lungs filled with air. I thank you guys for leading me back to this path, leading me back to you, and forgiving me. I put other things in front of you. Please let me receive your messages with an open heart, an open mind, and an open soul. Allow me to give these messages in a way that somebody can interpret and understand and apply. I thank you guys for all that you've done for me and all that you continue to do for me. Ashe. So the art of surrendering, it truly is an art. It's a practice. It's something that you have to do daily, not attaching yourself to the outcome, just doing your part and seeing things just work out. I'm hearing what's meant for you will always be for you. Honorable ancestors, my protectors, and my guides, what's some messages that I can deliver to the collective? The Conqueror, the Emperor. The Emperor does have a need to control. The Conqueror, he wants to conquer things. That's his goal, that's his mission, that's what he sets out to do. Strategy. But I feel like in this picture, he's relinquishing that control, that need, that inner desire. It's expelling itself from him. The Hermit. Between the Hermit and the Hanged Man, what other card represents surrendering? Four of Swords, possibly. But again, this need to relinquish control, just to shut off. Disconnect from the mass communication. Disconnect from things that just don't serve your purpose and feed your spirit and your soul. Surrendering. That's a whole concept. That's a whole lesson that takes sometimes lessons or lifetimes to master. But hopefully we're learning from things that have happened to show that everything is fleeting. The wheel is always turning. One day you're up, one day you're down. The best thing to do is just flow with that energy. I feel like 10 of Cups. Like, 10 of Cups just shows you, like, this, to me, that is, there's bliss within release. There's bliss within surrendering. And I feel like when you're quiet, you hear things, you listen. We got the High Priestess. You're listening to things. You're tapped in when you're surrendering, when you're quiet, when you're not forcing. Forcing takes energy. To me, listening takes energy too, because it's a skill. It's something that your mind as a muscle has to work through. But not only does it allow you to detach, it also allows you to detach so you can listen. The messages, collect and go, learning the lessons. Even though the Conqueror wants to conquer, I feel like he's trying to learn this lesson himself. He's trying to learn this lesson of detachment, of following his emotions, going with the flow. Water goes against the path of least resistance. Ace of Cups. Queen of Cups. 5 of Wands. Why are you fighting against this energy? There's so much bliss and happiness, and again, this deep sense of inner knowing. Because even if so back to the thought of sometimes you don't get the things that you want, right? Which could be talking about this 5 of Wands moment. Crazy energy, not understanding. Wanting, why can't I control this outcome? Why is this going crazy? Why is this going awry? When deep down inside you know, and then over here with the High Priestess, you know what the answer is: to relinquish control. Having so much control and wanting to do things like that just puts such an extra strain on your life that you don't need. Do you know? I feel like it's also the pathway, the doorway. Even for myself, I'm not realizing that, once I relinquish control, almost as if a doorway opens up itself. And obviously, I feel like it's deeply spiritual too. Learning to surrender is a spiritual lesson. Learning to, even though you didn't get what you want, you still have everything that you need, that is a lesson too. They're tied in together. Everything is interconnected. We are all woven. We are all woven together. Crazy, crazy. Bottom of the deck, we got the Tower. I don't think we realize the extent of what gets shown, what gets cleared out. It's almost as if the concept of surrendering, the concept of sometimes not getting what you want being a blessing, or that is the lesson within the blessing. Like, that shift of mindset to me is everything. It's powerful. It's esoteric. Sorry, my computer died. So, like I was saying, that's almost esoteric knowledge, because one of the best things that you can get from situations is learning the lessons and moving forward, not repeating it. To me, that's divine knowledge, because you can go through the same situation and do the same thing again until you learn that lesson. So to me, surrendering and realize some things just aren't in your best interest. Some things you don't get the sorry, you don't get the responses, you don't get the closure. It's just, it is what it is, you know? Can't control other people's behaviors, can't control the outcome of the situations. You just flow, and it is what it is. I'm having the hardest time just flowing. The hardest time just flowing, accepting situations for what they are. Learning I can't change an outcome or change a person. Only thing I can do is moving forward, is learning from my mistakes and surrendering, and look at things from a different light. I'm just gonna pull an oracle, a plant oracle. Thank you guys for being here, for listening to my message. Hopefully this resonates to someone. I just feel like almost as if this is the key. Letting go, being honest with yourself, trusting yourself, not fighting this. Don't fight this. And I know naturally, almost innately, we want to push against things. We want to push against resistance. Like, naturally, we like things that are hard, and it doesn't have to be that way. Release the things that give you the most resistance. Because when you feel resistance, to me, that's a need to control. Like, you're pushing against, you're exerting force. And that's what the Emperor is about. I feel like that's like a cheat code almost. Learning how to surrender, learning how to release control. At the bottom of the deck, we got the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles learns lessons. He studies, he applies. It's slow, but he does it. Again, surrendering is a skill. One that you gotta work at. Oh, Spirit, please give me one more message for the collective. So we got Orchid, symbiosis. The concept of symbiosis is never more expansive than when studying the orchid. The orchid? This flora grows on other plants. As a result, it is easy to assume they are exploitative, but they are not. They live harmoniously on their host. Their relationship is neither beneficial or harmful. It is unlike many, if any, of the relationships we have. Generally, we are driven by reciprocity, the expectation that giving something results in the return of something. Generally, we are driven by reciprocity, the expectation that giving something results in something in return. What did I talk about? Like collecting things. Sometimes we don't get the things that we want. Like, sometimes we have to give without the intention of receiving. Sometimes we have to understand that even though we want something back, sometimes that's just not how it works. Control, surrendering. What would life be like if we provided kindness to others without expectation? And what of the parasitic relationships we permit in our lives? Would we allow these relationships to continue or seek to find symbiosis with others? I also feel like there's a message of surrendering, like releasing things that no longer serve you. Sometimes just don't get that closure. You just got to move on. Bottom of the deck, we got goldenrod, to make whole, unity within self. I'm just going to read the bottom. What aspects of your life have fractured your soul, and what steps can you take to unite the pieces to become whole again? I'm just going to leave that there. A message that even I need to hear. I have homework for you guys. Just come up with one thing that you're grateful for. It could be as big as you want or as little as you want. In what ways can you surrender more? 2 questions. What are you grateful for, and how can you surrender more? Within your life, within your relationships, with anything. Thank you for listening to me. I hope I made sense. I hope I made a difference. I hope what I said was thought-provoking. Thank you, guys.